In the heart of a bustling city lived a man. Every day, he would strap on his guitar and play. He'd strum chords that spoke of love and loss, of joy and sorrow, melodies that echoed the stories of 1,000 lifetimes. But there was no one to listen. No one ever stopped to watch this old man play. The only audience was the cold, hard stone of the buildings that lined the street. Yet he played on, year after year, decade after decade, his music floating out into the empty street. One day, a young woman strolled by. She was an aspiring musician herself, her heart brimming with dreams and her fingers itching to touch a guitar. As she passed the old man, she couldn't help but stop. His music, though melancholic, touched a chord within her soul. And so she sat down, leaning against the wall, and listened. For a moment, the old man playing and the young woman listening were the only things that mattered. All the world's noise seemed to fade away. It was just music and a girl lost in its embrace. When the last note faded into the air, the girl approached the old man. Her eyes shone with admiration. "That was beautiful," she whispered, her voice filled with awe. The old man looked up, startled. He wasn't used to anyone stopping, let alone someone praising his music. He mumbled a thank you, his voice rough from disuse. "I'm a musician too," the girl said, her smile lighting up her face. "And I love your music." "You're amazing!" The old man shook his head, a sad smile touching his lips. "It's nothing," he said. "Just an old man playing for empty streets." The girl didn't understand those words then, but they echoed in her ears long after she'd gone. Years turned into decades, and the old man kept playing. The girl became a famous musician, her name known in every corner of the world. Yet she never forgot the old man with his worn-out guitar and his songs of love and loss. Sometimes, when the applause was deafening and the lights blinding, she closed her eyes and imagined the quiet street, the old man playing, and herself sitting on a nearby wall, lost in the music. It was a moment of peace in the chaos of her life, a reminder of where it all began. Then one day, the old man stopped playing. His hands, once nimble and quick, grew slower and more stiff. The guitar, his faithful companion for so many years, was put away, gathering dust in a corner. The girl heard about it and rushed to the old man's house. To her surprise, it wasn't just the physical distance that had grown between them, but an emotional one too. The old man didn't recognize her. His mind, clouded by the passage of time, saw only a stranger at his door. She played him some of her songs, hoping to jog his memory, but it was no use. He didn't remember who he was, let alone the girl who'd sat at his feet all those years ago. Heartbroken, she left, carrying with her the weight of the old man's forgotten melodies. Years later, after the old man had passed away, she returned to the street where it all began. She wanted to pay tribute to the man whose music had inspired her, to the melody that had echoed in her soul. But the street had changed. The buildings were different, the people unfamiliar. It was as if the years had erased everything, leaving behind a void where the old man's music used to be. Determined to keep his memory alive, she recorded the old man's songs, her voice echoing his pain and passion. Then she went to the record companies, hoping they'd give the old man's music a chance. They listened, but they weren't interested. The songs were too sad, they said, or they didn't fit into any particular genre. Discouraged, but not defeated, she released the album on her own. To her surprise, it became a hit. People bought it, played it, and before long, it was selling in every corner of the world. The old man's music, once confined to a dusty corner, now echoed in every home. The album became the soundtrack of a generation, defining an era capturing the hearts of millions. And though the old man didn't live to see it, a part of him, his music, lived on in the hearts of those who listened. Sometimes in the quiet of the night, when the world is asleep, his music floats out into the empty streets, a testament to a life lived in music and a love that never fades.